What's up? What's up? Hey, Crystal. Welcome to the show. How you feeling?
I'm good, D. How you doing?
I'm good. I can't complain.
Yeah,
I can't complain.
that's
It's
good.
a good day.
And they say who gonna listen anyway?
Everybody.
The
internet. Or should I say
mic.
the internet?
You got the mic though.
True. Okay, so what do you do on the weekends? Like, what do you do on your typical weekends?
Well, I just kind of got my weekends back, so been trying to ease into like doing things. Because I would just run canvases like out of my house, and then we got out of my apartment, and we got a campaign office. This is for Mayor Brandon Johnson's mayoral campaign. Then we got a campaign office, so I was able to run the canvases out of there. But my weekends were dedicated to knocking on doors and hosting volunteers. So now I can go to brunch.
Yes.
I did that this morning. I have my weekends are free.
So you're from the Austin community, right?
Yes, I am.
Yes. Woo woo. Born and raised in Austin.
Yes.
So tell me what that was like growing up in Austin back then. Like, how was that experience for you as a little girl?
It was a beautiful experience, right? I mean, I would consider it to be extremely normal. Definitely had a lot more exposure than some of the other kids on my block, some of the other families on my block. But I grew up, in a 2-parent household. My mom, my dad, they were public servants. My mom worked for the Cook County Forest Preserve, Secretary Treasurer for about 20 years, almost 20 years.
Nice.
My father was the commissioner of the Water Reclamation District from 88 to 96. So, and they were both like community political organizers. So that offered us a lot of exposure to other things more, But even like on my block, it was like a healthy, functioning, safe, block where we knew our neighbors. We have block club parties,
Nice.
I grew up in a household with I have 2 older sisters. So there was always like their friends were always at the house. I was a latchkey kid, so home alone, at at a young age. But just it was safe enough for that to happen.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't have any. Well, outside of the fact that my father passed when I was 12, but other than that, growing up, and I grew up in like community meetings, political meetings. I grew up in Rainbow Push, walking the halls of Rainbow Push or running the halls of Rainbow Push. My parents met over at Rainbow Push, and actually Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr. and Reverend Clay Evans, they were officiants of my parents' wedding.
Ooh.
So, of course, Reverend Clay Evans was like the lead, but Reverend Jackson was up there as well. So that'll just give you some context to my childhood. A lot of political spaces and community organizing spaces.
So you talked a little bit about your lived experience so far. So as you know, CLF is all about lived experiences. So how has your lived experience shaped who you are today? Right?
Yeah, absolutely. So my lived experience is what informs, like I said earlier, my lived experience informs my organizing. It informs how hard I go for community, working class folks like myself, from having like this very healthy, supportive, nurtured like childhood to being an adult that, I wasn't homeless, but I did leave home, right?
Yeah.
At a young age, and experienced just that portion of my lived experience while I was in a relationship with an older man and had way less than what I had at home, but I thought I was being grown, you know? So that experience, and then the ability for me to even get out of that abusive relationship and go back to FAMU. Like, what a blessing. I came, so this is good. Freshman year of college, I went away to FAMU. I came back. I had a great job at the Water Reclamation District, because this is what, the familial connections will get you. I'm making $17.40 an hour, full 40 hours a week, full time gig. And I no bills. I'm skinny. Like, life is good.
I'm skinny. What?
Got that young weight on me. You know what I'm saying? And life is good. I was 17 and got into a relationship with a man that was way older than me. We worked together. So it was convenient, because I didn't know how to be in real relationships then.
Yeah.
He groomed me, and made me feel like I was an adult that can handle this. And then, but that was that rebellious age, right? So leaving my mother's home, fighting with her, rebelling against her, leaving her home, living with him, like, that experience was like terrible.
Yeah.
Even while I was in it, I couldn't see how horrible it was, how damaging it was, how abusive it was. So I remember the day that I had my stuff packed, because we would fight. I had my stuff packed, and I remember when I was able to call my sister, because he was gone to a job interview. He also had a drug addiction. So I remember calling her and saying, "Come and get me," and she came and got me, and I went home, and life was back to normal. That's a blessing.
Yeah.
To even that foundation remained. I was able to go back to FAMU, even though I took a semester off. Pissed my mom off when I said, I'm not going back. I'm going to stay here and figure it out and work and be with this man.
Oh my goodness.
She was like, are you kidding me? So just even that safety net, right? That, like, lived experience of having a safety net, of having structures in place that if I fall back, I can get back up again, right? I think that even though that was my parents doing, I think that government, our city, has a responsibility to do the same for our communities.
Yeah.
So that experience of having a little bit more than the next causes me to kind of, like, really, it influences how I advocate for those, who don't either, I don't want to say it like that, who don't have a voice or hasn't identified their voice. So, and part of that is, like, talking to them and engaging them and seeing what it is that you need, what do you want. But I also, as a resident and an Austin resident, like, I know what we need too.
Yeah.
So doing the work in my community as well, like, that helps. That lived experience definitely helps, because I can say it's been 20 years since we've had, like, access to fresh foods, a grocery store, and maybe I'm exaggerating on the 20, but it's been at least 10, 15.
It could have been 20.
Yeah. I've always, grocery shopped in Oak Park, so outside of Austin.
Yeah.
But so my lived experiences, they keep me grounded, right? I'll be 40 in August, so I know, right? And I'm not as far along as, some of my other, like, classmates and friends and things of that nature. So there has been, I took a moment to live.
Yeah.
And it wasn't intentionally. It was just me navigating, like, those years. And so I'm grateful that they didn't take me out. Because they almost did. I'm still here, and I'm able to use that as currency in this space, right? And currency to continue to organize and to be somewhat of a voice for like working class folks. Like my family's political connections is the currency that I use to get in these rooms, the currency that I use to be able to text, some local elected, because they've been knowing me since I was a baby, to say, hey, and call the question about something that's impacting folks, and they probably see it too.
Yeah.
But nobody's calling them on it, right? So I appreciate, my journey, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Who would you say is the most influential person in your life, and why?
Well, definitely my mother, because she's been there my whole life. But she has always modeled this unwavering loyalty and commitment to community, like her family and her neighbors.
Yeah.
And Black women, Black Chicago, women in general. So she has done an amazing job, almost too good, because I can't. Like, girl, how are you still talking to them? Right. But no, she has been an amazing example, and an amazing model of what it means to be a Black woman that's successful and operates from like this place of love, right? It may be packaged a certain way,
Yeah.
but it is nothing but love once you kind of peel back the layers. And also just her resilience. And we got to be careful of how we praise that, because we do deserve to rest, to heal.
Yeah.
But her resilience, she is actually one of four survivors from the Cook County 2003 Cook County building fire downtown 69 West Washington.
Oh my.
The fire started in the records department on the 11th floor, and she was on the 21st floor. They evacuated the building. She took the stairwell with her suite mate and her suite mate's daughter. It was a Friday, so they just like, we should have been out of the office by now, right? So they evacuate the way they have been trained to, in the stairwell. And when they got down to the 11th floor, maybe the 12th floor, that's where the fire was. The firefighters said, you got to go back upstairs. So they went back upstairs to exit, and the doors were locked. So it was 10 people stuck in the stairwell, and 6 of them died from smoke inhalation. And my mother was one of the 4 survivors. Wow. So I think that story is enough to kind of capture.
Yeah.
And the fact that she was just able to maintain the lifestyle, the network, the net, that my parents, the foundation that they created after my father passed, which was kind of suddenly for us because we didn't know he was sick.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Shout out to mom. Oh
Yes,
my goodness.
yes.
I'd be so interested in getting her perspective on that day, because I heard about that fire, but I was young when it happened. So wow, that must have been the scariest thing to kind of live through, and to watch your sweet mates, as you called them, to pass away, or people from the building that was also trying to get to safety, kind of not make it. And
she had passed out. Everybody had passed out. She said the last thing she remembered is this lady was giving out some wet wipes, and they were putting it over their noses because the smoke was getting like unbearable.
Wow.
And they passed out, and she felt like this wind, it's this gust of air, and it was the firefighters, because folks had called the firefighters left the building, and people were stuck in other areas, but they were closer to the fire, I'm assuming, that side of the building. And so they were stuck in the stairwell for 90 minutes. And once we got home, because we were getting phone calls, me and my sister, we were just walking around in the mall, payday or something. It was a Friday.
Yeah. And
we were getting phone calls, and we all kind of sound alike. So when we picked up, folks were like, oh, okay, Mary, you could, no, this is, that's not it. That's not Mary. So once we got back home, That's when we were getting the phone calls, but nobody could get in contact with my mom. And we didn't expect her to still be in the building because it was Friday.
Yeah.
You know, folks, downtown workers, they do not stay after 4:30. So we got a call from the hospital. No, I'm sorry. This is what I wanted to tell you about. That day was, once we got home, we turned on the news because we had finally realized that people were looking for her. It was a fire. We got all the the details. Turned the news on, and we saw my mom on the stretcher getting carried out, and her arm had just fell off to the side. Yes. So we didn't even know. We were like, "That's mama right there." We didn't know if she was alive or anything. And then we eventually got a call from the hospital, telling us that she was in ICU. She was there for about a week. She was asking about her sweet mate, where's Janet? Where's her daughter? And Janet had passed.
Oh my God. What about the daughter?
The daughter survived, but the daughter, she suffered from mental illness and eventually passed a few years later.
Oh, that's so hurtful.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But my mother, she overcame that, was able to heal. And did she retire right after that? No, that was 2003. So she was transferred she worked downtown. She was transferred to the River Forest office. So she was literally 10 minutes from work. And she worked there until 2012 when she retired a year after she ran for alderman. 29th
Nice. Okay. Well,
yep.
Super glad that she survived and
she is still
was
here
able to turn that experience around and find some positive in it and give back to her community while running for to be an alderman person. That was cool.
Yeah.
What district was she running, or what ward was she running?
29th. 20 Austin. We've been there pretty much my whole life. I've been in Austin for 38 years. Same block. Different house, different place now. My mother sold the house a few years ago, but I'm living in an apartment. And that too, lived experience of having all that space, having in-unit laundry, little stuff like central air, or even just AC units that are already where they need to be. And now I'm in a vintage, beautiful apartment, but vintage, and I'm sweating bullets in the summertime. So that too informs my advocacy.
I love that.
But yeah.
Okay. So thank you for sharing that with me. We're actually in the point in the show where we do guess the Black movie quote, right? So I'm going to give you some quotes, give you four movie quotes from different movies, and you are going to just tell me which movies you think that they are from. I will do my best in giving you the line at the way that the actor or actress gave it.
Yes,
when they did
come correct.
I'm doing part or whatever it's gonna do. What it's gonna do. Okay,
it can't be in the D voice.
I mean, I'm gonna do. Listen, okay, I'm gonna give it to you.
Full on acting right now.
I'm gonna do what I can. I don't know about full on, but I'm gonna give it to you.
I believe in you.
Okay, I appreciate that. Give me some support. Support me, man.
Yes.
So you're gonna just guess which movie it's from. Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
So the very first one, I'll kind of give it, a little easy on you. How about Who That Woman?
That is The Color Purple.
Okay. Yes.
My fave.
Oh, is it?
One of them. Absolutely.
Okay, nice.
Yes.
Okay, and Peaches, make sure it's a regular, because last time you got me Super Girl.
I know this one. Oh. Can I get a hint?
Yes, you can get a hint. Wayne.
Oh, I'm sorry. Low down, dirty shame.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, I know that word by word. That's why I'm like, oh, I know exactly where that came from. Yes.
Okay. Yes.
I was about to say some lines, but let's
okay. Hey, do you, baby?
Nah.
Okay, so you could have sworn they were professors at Harvard. They had breath mints down to a science.
Mm-mm. I need help.
I'll
with
give
that
you
one.
another quote.
Okay, yeah, because
from the same movie.
Oh,
from the same movie.
Mm-hmm.
Class, please turn to 15. Miss Hughes, what page 15 on?
That's not class act, is it?
Uh-uh.
Oh, I don't know that one. That's funny though.
Okay. They were in California. It was 4 black boys. They were best friends, or 3 black boys. They were best friends.
Mm-hmm.
They were trying to get into girls' underwear. They were trying to.
Oh, not the wood.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But you know what? I didn't watch that one as much and frequently as I watched some of the older black stuff. But
that's fair.
Yeah. The wood was like I was coming in. Anyway, I got it though. The story with the plot.
You did? Okay, that's good. I'm glad you were able to get it with the plot.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll try to give you an easy one at the end here. Mm-hmm. Oh, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
He don't love me no more. It's raining outside. She has her baby in her arms, getting in the vehicle.
Oh. What's love got to do with it?
No. I should have hit you with a number. I started to. I did. No.
It's not waiting to exhale.
Nope.
Okay.
Okay.
Give me something else. Another hint.
Let me see. A quote
from
the movie.
Quote, yeah.
Right? Okay. I ain't gonna call y'all the B words. I'm gonna call y'all some unstable creatures.
No, cause see, I was thinking Boys in the Hood, but no, I don't know this one.
Ooh, I stumped her. Baby boy.
Okay, I could. Yeah, that wasn't another like frequent watcher. I wasn't like frequently watching that one.
That's okay.
But I get some of the like examples from the movie. I just didn't get that one.
It's okay.
There are other ones that other lines I would have known. But that he don't love, that's definitely Taraji, right?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. He don't love me no more.
She loved her some Jody.
You did pretty good though. 3 out of 4.
You.
That's not bad. Yeah. Especially when you watch crime fighting shows and you really don't watch regular titties. So
yes.
Do you watch First 48? You seem like
I've watched like all the seasons. Now if you would have like thrown out some detective names, I would have been like first 3 seasons. Ooh. The mid part of the series. Yes.
Okay. Next time.
Yeah.
So, how did you hear about CLF?
How did I hear about CLF? Well, Lieutenant Jermaine Harris, definitely we are like community partners. Mm-hmm. So he's the one who introduced the idea, the concept, and to me, mm-hmm. and like suggested that I applied, and I did. I was like, okay, anything that is connected. So there were some events that he had leading up to, that CLF had leading up to the actual application process. Uh-huh. And I went to one of the panel, he had a panel event at the Garfield Park Conservatory. And I was so impressed with like just the event and like the production of the event and just how everything went. I'm like, who is this group? So just being in that space and like all of the organization and the attention to detail and like curating an experience for the attendees, that was dope. It was. So I was just like, whatever this is, I'm interested. Sign me up. And so I signed myself up, and we're here.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
yes. I too love that event. I love to see the black ballerinas.
Mm-hmm.
That was like, I don't think I've had ever seen any black ballerinas in person. So it was nice to kind of see that
Yeah.
and watch their
Yeah.
joy and to see that craft and all the work that they had put into to be as skilled as they were. That was
Mm-hmm.
kind of beautiful. I agree. I enjoyed that event as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
Um,
Took some bottles of wine home. And yes.
glad you were able
Oh,
to.
the goodie bag too. Like
Yes.
the gift bags that they had. I thought that those were like so like thoughtful.
True.
You invite me to this free event. You're feeding me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm able to like drink. Then the entertainment is amazing. The conversation is even better,
Yeah.
And then I get to walk away with a little notebook, a t-shirt, I think it was some Garrett's popcorn in it.
Yes.
Like, come on now.
And then you got free wine.
Right.
Who won?
We all did that night.
True, that's
We
true.
all
That's
did.
true. It was a collective experience of
Yes.
greatness.
Yes.
Okay.
So, mhm.
So how has your experience so far as a fellow band?
My experience, it has been fruitful,
Okay.
And very insightful. I'm learning things that I probably wasn't as focused on, knowing it's there, but being like brought into like this mode of like this instructional moment, right?
Yeah.
Where or opportunity to be instructed on how to like be a better, more marketable brand and adult in whatever capacity that I'm in. I think that's what made it fruitful. I can take even if it might not apply to me right now in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
It is good to have access. So, and I'm all about accessibility, because that's what I grew up with.
Yeah.
So, and thank you for this moment, because that just is a statement that I needed for myself. I didn't even realize, like, I'm always like excited about opportunities where you have access to people, access to things and resources. Like the first CLF event I went to, everything, you had access to everything.
Yeah.
You're thirsty, you're hungry, you want a great conversation, it's all there. So that is the connection that I just made right now. So thank you.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I love that too.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
I really do. So I know you talk about your work that you do. You've talked about it throughout the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So has helped get the new mayor of Chicago, Mr. Brandon Johnson.
Yes.
He liked it. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah. I came from labor. So I used to be a union organizer. I did that for 3 years. I organized myself and my coworkers over at UCAM Residential in 2018. And that's over in North Lawndale. And because I was kind of leading those efforts, and in many situations, the face and the voice of the organizing drive, management targeted me. They wanted to fire me. I got my first write up in the 4 years I had been working there during our organizing campaign. So they were real petty. And so, yeah, the union hired me because they were like, we are not going to allow you to get fired. And I did really great work. So I went over to AFSCME Council 31, which is a very powerful public sector union here throughout the state of Illinois. Mm-hmm. For a while, I was the only Black organizer for the state of Illinois. So that was a thing. So, my claim to fame while at AFSCME, and I shout out to AFSCME Council 31, like at the same time, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for under the leadership of my former supervisor, mm-hmm. Abby Davis. And she taught me a lot, but most importantly, allowed me to like do the work, right? Mm-hmm. And facilitate it on my own, ask questions, mess up a little bit, So that was great because that prepared me for the work that I'm doing now in the community. Yeah. And I consider union organizing I consider it to be kind of controlled community organizing because you are organizing a work site, a workplace, not a ward, So it helped definitely. And The campaign that I was working on before I left was the museum workers over at the Art Institute of Chicago and the School of the Art Institute. The support staff over there, I was the lead organizer for the museum workers. So that was a two-year campaign.
Yeah.
I got hired. I left AFSCME in October of last year, and I started at United Working Families. I'm the associate political director.
Okay.
I know, right? It's nice. Nice title.
It's cute.
It is.
Sure. It's definitely cute.
Yes, that's real cute. And I have been, ever since I started, I was just like hyper focused on organizing the West Side region for Mayor Brandon Johnson's campaign, which has been an amazing experience because I've knocked doors, I've made phone calls, we've hosted events, house parties on the West Side, and it all paid off because the brother won.
Yeah.
The people have spoken, and they said, we are willing to, we want this type of change. We trust it. Now we just have to hold him accountable, right?
Yeah.
And so in doing that, and he wants to be, that's what he wants to be held accountable. So in doing that, I'm now organizing, doing some post-election political organizing so that we can build people-powered, so that we can build political power through the hands of the people. So it's called the 290 IPO, which is an independent political organization where we will do an extensive amount of political education. We support like the issues of like homelessness and mental health and fully funded schools and green schools and environmental justice. But we have to educate our folks to bring them in so that they feel comfortable and know that there is a solution to this. One being that we have a progressive mayor now who's willing to listen, who comes from a movement that sees people and supports working class families. So right now, like I said, I'm organizing the community. I'm able to meet people, meet new people, meet my neighbors, meet other leaders. Because ultimately what an IPO does, which is similar to United Working Families, it's an extension of that. What an IPO does is they identify, train, recruit, and run candidates, progressive candidates. So we are looking to kind of, in the efforts of transforming our communities and creating this model of co-governance where the people, the neighbors, the residents are either in power or at the table. That will just make things much better.
Yeah. Okay, yes. So tell me about some of the projects that you've worked on in the past.
Like community stuff,
whatever you would like to share with us.
I was activated to community organizing, and activism is different from organizing, right?
Okay.
An activist will go in and disrupt some things, right?
Yeah.
An organizer is going to come up with a strategy to create opportunities to have conversations, and then also, part of that strategy is if the conversations don't go as needed, there is a plan of escalation with one ultimate goal, right?
Yeah.
So, in 2020, when George Floyd was murdered, that's when I was watching it on TV and I said, I haven't done enough if this is what I'm watching, And so I started going to protests and that felt good. It woke something up in me. It lit a fire, I also recommitted to God, right? I said, God, use me because I don't know what to do right now, but something has to be done. And so the first kind of idea that came up from that prayer was Protest to the Polls, which was what's next? What now? What's next initiative. Yeah. And it was a campaign to like register, educate, and turn out voters. and you're non-traditional voters, homeless and unhoused individuals can vote. They can register to vote and they can go and vote. So I was doing like pop-up voter registration.
That's dope.
I was also offering like individuals who wanted to like participate, they could become deputy registrars so that they can register people to vote, and then they can go off and register like their family members, their friends. You may not want to march in a protest. You may not want to like facilitate an event, host an event, but you can do your part just right in your own network and safety net. Yeah, sorry. You can do your part right there in your own network and neighborhood. So I started that initiative, and we also were doing like PSAs on like, why are you voting? So folks had their own videos that were edited by my videographer friend, and we let them use it on social media just to get people engaged and involved. What else? After that, I started a campaign to rename Columbus Park because that was going on at that time. And it's not active, but it's still there. I need to pick that back up. I'm trying to think what else. We did some organizing around the Loretto Hospital scandal when the CEO had like taken some COVID vaccinations, and there was like fallout after all of that, and the community members were most impacted. So, and that's pretty much what fuels my passion and my fight for community, is when you are taking something from people who don't deserve for things to be taken from them, don't have much anyway, are struggling to just survive. Then I get activated.
That's fair. Mm-hmm. That's fair, because you are advocating for them, right? For their basic needs.
Yeah.
I love that.
I'm always like, I'm good. I'm going to be good. Don't worry about me. I'm good. Let me put all of that energy in, fighting for my community and my neighbors, throughout, not even just on the West Side, throughout Black Chicago. I was working with a part of this like group called the Concerned Women of Illinois through Rainbow Push. And we were supporting the Anjanette Young ordinance and out there protesting it on 35th, So it is just really any progressive issue or concern that comes up, I'm on it. Right now I'm, just getting activated to the migrant crisis, because over in Austin, we do have migrants sleeping on the floor in police stations.
Yeah.
And once I see it, I can't unsee it, but I didn't think that they were out west, just because I'm like, they're not bringing them here because, they don't have any connections to their culture and community, strong ones. But no, they're everywhere across the city, in every inch of the police station. And that's just not how human existence should go, especially not in a rich, beautiful city like Chicago. Yeah. So just activating some folks, trying to organize some immediate kind of mutual aid and kind of some long-term structure to support those asylees.
Okay. Do you have any future plans outside of helping the current migrant?
Yeah, I'm organizing with the community, right? The 290 IPO, which is just a space for political power, a space for progressives to come and be nurtured, be educated, organize around the issues. For example, homelessness would bring Chicago home, or mental health, the mental health ordinance, treatment, not trauma. Hopefully Mayor Johnson will pass these things within his first 100 days. But if not, the movement is ready to say, hey, sir.
Sir.
Hi, sir. Remember you had said that. So, no. But yeah, building out, we're trying to organize people on the West Side. And this should have happened like 40 years ago when Mayor Washington was in office, but he passed. Yeah. It happens when Chewy ran in 2015 in the Southwest region, this is a goal and part of UWF's mission to like expand the progressive base throughout Black Chicago, and the only way you can do that is through people power. So you bringing people together, and they have the issues because they're all the same, right, on the west and south sides.
Yeah.
And they're all the same within the west side wards. Bring them together, and you do some political education. You do some agitation. The inoculation is already there because we're living it.
Yeah.
We've been living it. You ain't got to tell me what happens if my older person doesn't sign on treatment, not trauma, and the mental health institutions remain closed and shut down. We are living that every day.
Yes.
So empowering and encouraging people and giving them a strategy and a plan to and the tools to transform their own community, then we're good. There's a sense of ownership there.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, somebody came in and did this, or look into one local elected as a savior, because they aren't that. And we have lived that as well. So let's try this time, 40 years later, or however many, let's try and be the power that and the change that we seek. But we can't do that just siloed and like individually. We got to come together. So I'm just trying to create a space to bring people together, to empower them to be progressive stewards of their own community, and to be able to demand better from local leadership. And when they don't do it, we vote them out and run our own people. It's just that easy.
It's simple.
That's it.
I love that for you. I hope that you get that as well. And are you a parent?
I am not. No kids.
Are you? So maybe if you hope you have future children, if that's what your heart desires.
Yes, I would love to have like one little bambino, one little CG running around here. I look forward to like continuing the relationship that I'm in, and us taking it to the next level. So yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like I said,
happiness.
Yes. Peace with who I am and where I am.
Yes.
Now it's just about like managing and developing that, and getting identifying like who I am as a leader, because I still don't kind of know.
It's a journey, though.
It is.
Yes. So what is something you would like our audience to walk away with?
See the humanity in people. Lead off with love. You might not continue because, folks can, get you off your square, but lead off in love, right? And engage people in conversation. Talk to people. Just talk to them. I don't even need to say it all like beautifully. Just talk to people. Check in with folks.
Yeah.
Check on your strong friends, right? But also, I would like for people to leave the space that they are in improved in some form of fashion. Even if that's through an affirmation for someone, like leave it better than what it was when you got there. And that doesn't require like money, resources. That's just through conversation. That's through empowerment, inspiration, and like affirmation.
Yes. I love that. Okay, yes. Where could our audience find you online? So your social media handles, do you have any that you would like to share that people can connect with you there?
Yeah, I guess like Facebook.
She don't want to connect with y'all.
Facebook is Crystal Gardner. I also have I forgot to mention this, but a Facebook group called Activate Austin with over 600 members. So we talk there. I talk on my page. Instagram is CG, the letter C, the letter G, and then girl, GIRL. Twitter is at CGCEEGEE Westside.
Okay.
All one word.
So you guys can find Crystal online at all her handles that she just said. Actually, Crystal, that brings us to the end of this show. So, how are you feeling?
I'm good.
Feeling good?
Yes.
Feeling great?
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming today, giving us your time, because you could have been anywhere, but you were here with me and us, I guess, the audience. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for allowing me to share my story. And hopefully, folks will get a different perspective of Crystal.
Yes. You're such an amazing human.
Thank you.
I love learning about you and just getting to know you a lot better and just vibing. It's been a pleasure. So, yes. All right, then. That's it.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
If you enjoyed our show, please rate and review us on Google and Apple Podcasts. And be sure to come back next week to meet a few of our fellows. Until then, I'm your host, The Elegance Lane. And don't forget, live here, work here, lead here. For more information on CLF, please go to www.clfellows.org.
Hi, this is Alexandra August, Executive Director and co-founder of Community Leadership Fellows. I'd like to thank our advisors and seed investors who coached, mentored, and guided us through our exploratory year in order to make the investment in Westside talent possible.